I am Ruby Bridges. How one 6-year-old girl's march to school changed the world. I am Ruby Bridges, written by Ruby Bridges, and the beautiful artwork is by Nicholas Smith. This book was published in 2022 by Orchard Books. Ruby, a jewel, a precious stone that is red, and bridges, plural of bridge, a structure carrying a pathway or roadway over an obstacle, such as a river, or a time, place, or means of connection or transition. And there Ruby has drawn a picture of a bridge with a ruby on the top. I am Ruby Bridges. When I grow up, my work will be precious. I will be a bridge. I will bridge the gap between black and white, and hopefully between all people. I suppose some things in life are just meant to be. And you can see she's showing her hands as the bridge, and all the people, black and white, are going across. 1960. Before I started school, I wasn't thinking about who I would be when I grew up. What I was thinking about was how much I didn't even like my name. I thought Ruby was a name for little old ladies. It was much too old for me, someone my age. After all, I was only just turning 6. I'm told my grandmother chose this name, Ruby, for me. Well, that explains it. No wonder it's such an ancient name. But I so loved my grandmother, I thought I'll just have to live with it and try to grow into it. Surely I didn't want to hurt her feelings. So there I was, almost 6, born in 1954. I'm told that was a very important year because of the landmark case, Brown versus Board of Education. That was when the court banned segregation in schools. But all I know then was my old name was Ruby Bridges. Oh boy, what's next? What a way to start school. Oh well, how bad can it be, I thought. It's not like I'll be the first Ruby in the world, just the youngest one. So off to school I go. It is a regular school with lots of other kids to play with. I make a new best friend, and even my teacher is nice, and it's not hard at all. Surprisingly, it's easier than I thought it would be. I get tons of gold stars every day. Life couldn't be better. We have Harriet and Fanny and Whitney and Malcolm and Martin and Ruby in this class. Then, just as things were going really well for me, surprise, I found out my parents have decided I am switching schools to a better school, they say, with better opportunities. But first, I must take a test to get in. Opportunities. What are opportunities anyway? I thought, and why do I need them? Especially if a test comes with them. There on this page, I like how she shows she has Ruby and then she has her bridge again. That's her name. But then I thought I'm already getting gold stars, so how hard can it be? Besides, there's no turning back now. It's what my parents want for me. And those are the opportunities they're talking about. Maybe it's painting, maybe it's sports, maybe it's photography, maybe it's being a judge or a doctor, or all kinds of different things that maybe she wouldn't get to do if she was going to her old school. And guess what? Another gold star. I passed the test. Can you believe it? How lucky can an almost 6-year-old with an old name like Ruby be? I was about to find out because my mom said I would be starting at a brand new school the next morning and I had better behave. There she is with her family, her mom and dad, and let's see how many kids are in that family. 1, 2, 3, 4 kids in that family, it looks like. First day, no more walking to school with my best friends. There are four very tall men at the door to drive me to school, and they're white men. Who in the world are they? And who told them I needed a ride to school anyway? Federal marshals, they tell me, sent by the President of the United States. Wow, they look kind of intimidating. A little scary if I met them at the door my first day of school. Federal marshals sent just for me? Wow! That must have been a very special test that I passed because they said, I'm the first. The first what? I thought. I didn't find out what being the first really meant until the day I arrived at this new school. Those four very tall white men, they escort me into the building past lots of screaming white people who line the streets outside the school. It really looks like Mardi Gras to me, but they aren't throwing any beads. What's Mardi Gras without beads? Once I get inside, I meet the new principal, and she is white too. I wasn't taken to my new classroom until the next day. Second day, when I arrive at my classroom, my new teacher opens the door and greets me. Hi, I'm Mrs. Henry, your teacher. Come in and take a seat, she says. And aren't I surprised? Because she is also white. I never had a white teacher before. And the biggest surprise of all, I am the only kid in the class. I didn't see any other kids at all. Not one. That test must have been a lot harder than I thought. Why am I the only kid in my class? Not to mention the only kid in the whole school. And why don't I see anyone who looks like me? And that's when it hits me. I am not just the only kid, I'm the only black person here, I thought. Maybe I am the first black kid in this school. So that's what they meant about me being the first. And there she is at W. France Elementary looking at the school photos from the past, and she realizes there she is. Her picture's the only person who is black. Finally, it all makes sense. Me, 6-year-old Ruby, the first black kid to go to this school, William France Elementary, a white school. When I asked my mom, she said, yes, it was an all-white school until the laws changed when Brown versus Board of Education won their case in the Supreme Court. Now all black kids can go to any school they like alongside white kids. I, Ruby, being the first, helped to make that possible. And that's a good thing for black kids, for white kids too, for all kids once they finally get there, from the second grade to fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade, and seventh grade on up. I just want to know one thing. When are they coming? Because I know they are just like me. Who cares what colors we are? I'm just happy Brown versus Board made it right. School is just school and kids are just kids. I'm sure they'll all show up soon enough. I can't wait. I guess being 6 with an old name like Ruby isn't so bad after all. I suppose some things in life are meant to be. I am Ruby Bridges, the first. And if you notice in the bridge, you can see her name underneath in the supports, Ruby. Here is a picture of Ruby Bridges when she was 6 years old and she attended that school for the very first time. And then on the right, we have a picture of what Ruby Bridges looks like today after she's had a long career of helping other people with when they had issues of going to different schools and helping other black and white kids get along and black and white adults get along too. Thank you, Ruby Bridges.